Welcome back to Small Ball. While you're here, hit that like button and subscribe button so you never miss another video. Today, we're talking about the Indianapolis Colts tight end position, and I would actually argue from at least correlation to success in the NFL that this might be the most important position on the field. Now, does that sound a little dramatic? Yes. Is it a little dramatic? Yes. But when you look down the list of successful NFL teams, strong tight ends stick out. Let's just look at this year, right? Travis Kelce, George Kittle, those were the two tight ends in the Super Bowl. Travis Kelce has been in the Super Bowl over and over and over again. Sure, he's attached to Patrick Mahomes, and that no doubt helps. But the fact that dynamic tight ends can help out an offense is obvious. Mark Andrews, very solid. Dallas Goedert, very solid. Sam Laporta, rookie, but had a very good rookie campaign up in Detroit. You look a little bit further back in history. Tom Brady had Rob Gronkowski. Peyton Manning had Dallas Clark. It's tough to look at the tight end position in the NFL and say, well, we can be mediocre and succeed. Now, there have been cases of that, but having that differential target at the tight end position has proven to be incredibly successful in the past and might be the key to getting a Super Bowl back in Indianapolis. So let's take a look at what the Colts currently have, what some of the rumors are surrounding this position going into 2024, and really what indication have the Colts shown to make changes at that position. And so when you look at the Colts tight end spot, you have Mo Alie-Cox, who has been the veteran. He is a guy that signed a 3-year contract. He will be a free agent after the 2024 season. Mo Alie-Cox signed a 3-year, $18 million contract. And really, I don't think he's played up to that. Although, again, you got to be fair. I mean, this is the same deal with the Colts wide receivers. With the amount of quarterback turnover, it is a little difficult to judge a guy like Mo Alie-Cox. But the reason I point out Mo Alie-Cox more than maybe others in that room right now is the fact that he's been paid, is the fact he has been around the longest, and in reality, the fact that other guys in that room have flashed more than he has. I think he was a project, and he had a very good start to his career given his background, given the fact he was a college basketball player, right? And I think that background made him a bit of a project piece. And I think he was a successful project piece. But he's not Travis Kelce. He's not George Kittle. He's not one of these top 5, 10, 15, even 20, probably tight ends in the league. And the question is, do the Colts even have that on the roster? And it's difficult to say because of the youth of the room, because of injuries, because of, frankly, arrest. So you'll probably have one of those guys shipped out of here anyway soon. But when you look at the rest of the room beyond Mo Alie-Cox, it at least gets more interesting, and I think there's a glimmer of hope. And that, to me, starts with Jehlani Woods, who's the 6'7" tight end out of Virginia. And, I mean, Jehlani Woods, when he has played well. Now, he had the hamstring issue last year, didn't play. That being said, you look at his rookie campaign, when the guy was on the field, he is a mismatch. 6'7", you're not going to be able to really defend that all that well. I mean, that is the one consistency you see in this room, is the fact that you can tell there's a general type of tight end that Chris Ballard in that front office like. 6'5", 6'7", 6'5", 6'5", and then 6'2", and the 6'2" is Kylan Granson. But Jehlani Woods is a guy that could turn into something. I mean, he could. His rookie campaign, there was a lot of outcry around Indianapolis, and in particular from now ESPN superstar Pat McAfee, around the fact that Jehlani Woods was not being utilized in Frank Reich's offense. And exactly because of the fact that the guy was such a mismatch. I mean, he is an athletic freak. And this is a lot of this team is filled with that kind of athlete. But you got to start hitting on some of those guys who can actually play ball. It's great to be athletic. It's great to have all the measurables on the draft. It's great to have everything that you could have ever wanted, from a height, from an arm length, from all that stuff. But if they can't play, and when the lights come on and the big moment hits, they're not the go-to guy, then you're still searching for that go-to guy. And we'll see. I think this is the year we'll know if Jehlani Woods is, and he has been a really nice piece to have. But just because he missed this last year, it was tough to judge Jehlani Woods' position in this room, but he is the one that I think that fans, the front office, is going to have to put hope into to say he could be the guy. Is he? We don't know yet. We don't know. But one of the guys that we probably know is not the guy, Drew Ogletree, who was arrested and charged with felony domestic battery. So I doubt Ogletree will be around Indy much longer. Ogletree, of course, had a very good preseason, his rookie year. You heard his name coming a lot out of camp of keep an eye out on this guy, keep an eye out for this guy. Had a season-ending injury, I believe, in camp. Then came back this year. Played decent. I mean, played pretty decent. He was a nice option to have. Then he got into his legal problems and, hey, fair trial and all that. We'll see how it turns out. But I have a feeling that he may not be in Indy much longer. So on that, let's move on. Also in that room, you have Kylan Granson, who is the short guy at 6'2". Kylan Granson had a career year last year. It's his only going into his fourth year in the NFL. It really always seems to me that he has been around longer than he has. I don't know why, but it just seems like he has been in Indianapolis for a long time. And he is a guy that is, a good receiving tight end. He's a different sort of tight end than Jehlani Woods or Mo Alie-Cox or Drew Ogletree, who are more of those tree types, or even Will Mallory, who's, I think, 6'5". He's a different tight end. He's this kind of hybrid like tight end. He's more of a wide receiver tight end type. I don't know. It's a little hard to categorize what Kylan Granson is, but he has been pretty valuable the last 2 years in that offense, and I don't think he'll go anywhere. But he's also not going to be that number one tight end option. He's going to be, and he should be in any tight end room, probably that number 2 or 3 option. Now, here's another name I'm going to throw out there. This is an interesting one. Will Mallory. Will Mallory, the rookie out of Miami. He's going into his sophomore campaign now, but he was a rookie. Had a couple flashes this year that he could play well. And you got to wonder if Mo Alie-Cox takes a step back, if Drew Ogletree may no longer be with the organization. Okay, now you got 3 names for the future. You've got Jehlani Woods, Kylan Granson, and Will Mallory. And Will Mallory played pretty well when he had his opportunities. I mean, it's hard to judge these guys except when they get their opportunities. And when he got his opportunities, he played well. This is a little bit of the opposite of the, Alec Pierce situation in the wide receiver room, which is high expectations. And when he's got his opportunities, he hasn't played crazy well. Will Mallory has played well. So he's a guy that might be in that room and might be a valuable piece in that room. And I think you'll get some flexibility with special teams and that sort of thing with Mallory. So he'll be around next year. This gets to a question, though, which is what do the Colts do to address this room? I just said it earlier. If you want to be elite in this league, well, most elite teams, the two dynasties, as we will call them, Kansas City and New England in the last 25 years here, both had dominant tight ends. The Colts, at the height of their success, had a dominant, solid tight end. Dallas Clark would have been considered top 10 in the league. So if you don't have that in your room right now, and you're not sure if you had that in the room, then you need to go out and find it. That spot is a valuable spot on the field, and it's really a safety blanket for quarterbacks to have that guy you can go to. And there's no doubt Travis Kelce and Patrick Mahomes, they're a great pairing, but Patrick Mahomes would not be Patrick Mahomes without Travis Kelce, and Travis Kelce would not be Travis Kelce without Patrick Mahomes. I mean, it goes both ways, but the fact is when you combine these guys, you have something special. I think the Colts hope if you keep these two guys healthy, Anthony Richardson and Jehlani Woods could be a dynamic pairing. I mean, they're both just crazy athletic guys, adding to an athletic team. They have good traits. They seem like it could be a fit in theory. So this is why you're starting to see some of these mock drafts come out, and you have the Colts are taking Brock Bowers in round 1. Well, they might be. Maybe they do that. Although it's hard to look at that team and not think there are other areas that need to be addressed. The secondary, wide receiver, D-line, hard to look at that team and not think there are other areas that need to be addressed. Although if they go tight end, I get it, because you need to hit on that guy. But this is where it's hard, and this is why doing this is not as easy as everybody who sits on their PlayStation and plays Madden, is because, well, you might have the guy in the room. You don't know yet. You don't know. And then you might be wasting draft capital on a tight end when you don't need a tight end. But that's where there are different philosophies on drafting. Do you take kind of in general best available, or do you take what fits your needs? And, in the case of a guy like Brock Bowers, he might be both whenever they get on the board. So it'll be interesting to see what the Colts do in 2024. I'm expecting an emergence of Jehlani Woods at the position. I'm expecting Will Mallory to be more involved in the offense. I'm expecting Kylan Granson to also be more involved. And I'm expecting Mo Alie-Cox to really be that, run blocking tight end. He just did not have any real flashy plays this last season. And I just don't see a path forward in Shane Steichen's offense for Mo Alie-Cox. So we'll see what they do as we head into 2024. Indianapolis Colts, always something going on. There's always some amount of drama. And to keep up with that and more, make sure to hit that subscribe button. And if you enjoyed this video, hit that like button so we can continue to grow. Thanks for listening to Small Ball.